I think it's just really hard to put your phone down when it's videos you would like to see, and it just keeps coming after and after and after.
If you think your teen spends a lot of time on social media during the school year, well, chances are they will spend even more time on it over the summer.
And in tonight's special report, Elizabeth Matthews looks at some of the new trends and pitfalls facing both parents and teens.
6 hours probably on my phone. It's mostly at night, late at night.
Actually, like 2 to 3 hours, mostly on YouTube or Snapchat.
I spent about maybe 4 to 5 hours at night.
Probably like 4 hours. I go on Snapchat to text like my friends, and like we send pictures.
We caught up with a group of Lockport High School students just before the year ended to get their take on teens and how they're using social media. If they average about 5 hours a day during the school year, what will their usage be during the summer?
We're looking at more than 12 hours of social media usage, not constant, but always having that notification.
New research from the Pew Institute found YouTube as the social media site used the most by teens, but that didn't top the list at Lockport, according to this group.
Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram.
What stood out to me the most, where kids are really aware that how social media can affect them in a positive or negative way.
While we know social media can affect kids' mental health, how fast does it happen?
It is immediate.
Dr. Steve Webb is a police officer and school superintendent in Southern Illinois. He's also on the Illinois Terrorism Task Force School Safety Commission. Webb says kids can start a downward spiral as soon as they post a message or a picture and don't receive a positive response.
When I don't get that response, it consumes me as a child because my cognitive ability is still growing.
Based on a recent national survey, teens did say this about social media.
When we look at this Pew research, it showed that they feel that they can't control the content that they're seeing.
That's why retired cybercrime detective Rich Wistocki has some concerns about programs like ChatGPT being used on social media platforms. He says those programs monitor what kids are searching online and will then add content to kids' For You feeds.
As technology goes, in like ChatGPT, Snapchat, AI, I think kids are going to be more dependent on it, and the problem is they're getting younger. I think more kids are getting younger because parents think they have control of it, but they really don't. I'm seeing homemade child pornography of 9-year-olds. You know, it's a horrible thing to even say.
While families worry about those photos being on the internet permanently, there is now a tool to take them down.
Actually, it just started. About 2 months ago, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children launched something called takeitdown.ncmec.org.
Wistocki says you can upload those pictures or videos to that website, and they will use a computer program to determine digital DNA of a picture or video.
Whatever social media subscribes to the National Center, they send them that hash value, and it wipes it out of all their servers.
When it comes to playing video games and online predators,
Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, there's an AI program looking at that chat. And if it's grooming chat, they're going to report it to the National Center as a cyber tip.
but there are some sites that still concern law enforcement, ones that are chat rooms, but don't say that they are.
If they take in the private chat, they got you.
While some students may struggle if confronted with an online predator, others may not, thanks in part to some of the cyber safety education they've received in school.
I feel like parents usually think there's a lot more child predators out there than there are, because really, I mean, we're our own human beings too. Sure, when we're confronted by that, it's an easy just don't respond.
The overall issue both kids and parents seem to struggle with when it comes to social media is just spending less time on it.
I feel like a good amount of time to spend would be probably an hour or less, but it's because that's how everyone communicates. It's the way to communicate with other people.
We also have to understand that social media is probably not going anywhere. So instead of telling students to stay off of it completely, I think we have to teach them how to use it properly.
Another trend one of our experts mentioned is kids locking parents out of their cell phones. That's why Wistocki encourages parents to buy a flip phone. Just leave it on the counter to let them know that would be their child's next cell phone. Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.